In this video, we're going to be solving a two-step equation with sign fractions. Okay, so our first problem, we have -1/2 equals -8 over 7x minus 5 over 4. So what we want to do with this thing is get rid of all the fractions. That's our first step. So we need to come up with a number that we can multiply by such that all of these fractions will go away. And that number is going to be the least common multiple of all three of these numbers. Okay, so since 2 and 4, the least common multiple of 2 and 4 is 4, then we really only need to look at these two. Okay, because if I multiplied both of these by 4, this fraction would go away as well. So really only need to look at the least common multiple of 7 and 4. Now there's a few different ways you can do that. One way is to just write out multiples until one of them is divisible by the other one. So let's look at the 7. Let's write out multiples. 7, 14. 4 doesn't go into 14, so we've got to keep going. 21. 4 doesn't go into 21, so we have to keep going. 28. 4 does go into 28. Okay, so this is what we're going to multiply everything by. Because if I multiply everything by 28, all three of these fractions will go away. Okay, and that's what I'm looking for. So let's multiply every one of these by 28. So I'll put a 28 here and distribute it to all three of these terms. Okay, so if I multiply 28 times a half, okay, so that's negative half, that's going to be 28 over 2, which will be 14. So negative 14 is our first one when I multiply 28 times negative half, equals when I multiply 28 by this. Let's leave the 8 there, but what would happen if I had 28, and let's leave the 8 and then put the 7 on bottom, x, you can see on the next step that the 7 will go into 28 4 times. So that will reduce as well. We'll write that down the next step. And we'll do the same thing here. Multiply the 28 times that one, so you get 28 times 5 divided by 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this step. So we get negative 14 equals, 7 goes into 28 4 times, so negative 4 times 8x. There's no more fraction because the 7 got reduced with the 28 on top. Okay, minus 4 goes into 28 7 times, so 7 times 5. Let's clean that up. Negative 14 is equal to negative 32x minus 35. Okay, I can add 35 to both sides because I'm trying to get the x by itself. So I'm trying to get this term by itself. So add this 35. Okay, so 35 minus 14 is 21. So you get 21 equals negative 32x. Divide the negative 32 and you get your answer. This doesn't reduce. So x is equal to 21 or negative 21 over 32. Okay, let's look at the next one. So the next one we have three different denominators, nothing in common. We have a 7, a 3, and a 2. Okay, so let's start writing out the 7th, the biggest one again, until we find something that both the 3 and the 2 will divide into. Okay, so just like last time, 7. Okay, so 7, 14. 2 goes into 14, but 3 does not. 21. 3 goes into 21, but 2 does not. 28. Again, 2 goes into it, but 3 does not. 35. That doesn't work. 42 looks to work. Okay, 2 goes into 42 21 times. 3 goes into 42 14 times. And 7 goes into 42 6 times. So 42 is the number we're going to multiply everything by. Okay, so I'll get negative 42 times 2 over 7 minus 42 times 2 over 3, and then a y equals negative 42 times 1, so we'll just leave that off, over 2. Okay, so let's reduce that. 7 goes into 42 6 times, so that's negative 6 times 2. 3 goes into 42 14 times, so that's negative 14 times 2y. And then negative 42 divided by 2 is 21. So this becomes negative 12 minus 28y equals 21. Let's add the 12 to both sides. I'm running out of room, so let's go over here. Negative 28y is equal to 33. Okay, and then if I divide that, I made a slight error here. This should have been negative. Yeah, 42 divided by 2, negative 42 divided by 2 is negative. So scratch this out. Let's go back here. So we add the 12 to both sides. Negative 21 plus 12 is negative 9. So you get negative 28y equals negative 9. It's this right here. Okay. And then if I divide both sides by the negative 28, I get y is equal to 9 over 28. And it's positive because of negative divided by negative. Okay, let's look at the last one. So we've got a 4, and a 3 in our denominator. So we really only need to look at the 4 and the 3. So let's do the 4. Let's write it out till we get something the 3 goes into. 4, 8, 12. There it is. 3 goes into 12 4 times, and 4 goes into 12 3 times. Okay, so let's multiply by 12. So 12 times 1 over 4, that's negative, equals negative 12 times 1 over 4w plus 12 times 8 over 3. All right, let's clean that up. So 12 times 1 is 12, divided by 4 is 3, so negative 3 equals 12 times 1 is 12, divided by 4 is negative 3w. And then 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 4 times 8 is 32. Okay, so if I move the 32 over, I get, let's see, negative 35. If I subtract the 32 from both sides, okay, equals negative 3w. And if I divide the negative 3, I get w is equal to 35 over 3, and it's positive because it's a negative divided by negative.